Thanks for watching Layman Racing Podcast. Please make sure you check out my recent episodes. They're pretty cool. Thank you for watching and thank you for the support and enjoy the episode. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Layman Racing Podcast. Your host, Dalton McVeigh. So, as that being said, the co-host wasn't feeling well today, so he will be here tomorrow at noon with Ryan Oakley as scheduled. So thank you guys. Obviously, episode 4. We are getting through. We got our guest Matt Freeman in the backstage here. In a few minutes, we'll be inviting him on to the stage. So we got sport news for today. So it looks like Hunt to the Front series has announced that SCDRA less than a month away in the 15th annual Winter Freeze, February 7th through the 8th. The Southern Dirt Series kick off with a race for the SCDRA with a massive payout of $21,000. And the Hunt to the Front network is streaming along with Flow Racing and at the Screvens Motorplex. So the Broncos and the Bills game, looks like the Bills beat the Broncos out of 31-7. And the OSU versus Notre Dame is at the Mercedes Stadium in Georgia for the National Playoff Championship. So tune in for that. I don't know if that's actually been already started or not. So without further ado, let's get Matt Freeman onto the stage. How you doing, Mr. Freeman?
Not bad. How you doing, Dalton?
Good. So, really good to bring you out on the podcast. Thanks for joining.
No problem. Glad to be here.
All right. So I did like I was saying, I did have to do some research I did that because for a little bit. I knew your dad from Waynesfield when we went last time in October. So.
Yeah, he's a pretty good guy. I love him to death.
Oh yeah. So tell the viewers more about yourself. Nothing personal, but just in general.
Well, I'm pretty much just a guy that's been around racing my whole life. Literally, my dad's been racing since I was 6 months old. So I went to school at UNOH for automotive and high performance, and it just try to further that. And I didn't really follow that path, but I'm in the testing field now. Been married to my wife for 3 years, and just trying to live this racing life and keep going on.
Awesome. Well, so earlier this year, I seen that there was a post about you had a flip, and I was wondering if you would mind talking about that, like the whole time there.
Yeah, so I think it was June of last year, I was at Jackson County running the Ohio Valley SCDRA series. I made the feature. First time at the track. The new owners there opened up the track. It was great. The track was real slick, kind of sandy. I'm not really used to that. It was high bank. It was a fun track. But going in the corner, I don't know, lap 7 or 8 or something like that in the feature. I was passing for, I think, 7th, and I just ended up upside down. I think I rolled it 4 or 5 times. What ended up happening is my spindle on my right rear ended up breaking off. And after looking at it, we realized that it's probably been broke for a while because the brake on it was half rusted. So we were thinking that it was actually broke before that, and I just kind of got lucky up until then. And then, it destroyed my car. So now I'm in the process of rebuilding.
Awesome. Well, glad you're okay though. For that's definitely safety is definitely the biggest thing.
Yeah.
So how long have you been in the racing industry?
Well, like I said, I kind of grew up around it. Like I said, my dad's been racing since I was 6 months old, so I've been around it my whole life. But the first time I got in a race car, I was 15 years old at Paragon Speedway in Indiana. My cousin was driving a stock car, and they had like a fun night. And it just so happened to be my birthday, so they're like, hey, can we put him in the car for his birthday? And I went out there and made a few laps, spun out every single corner, but I enjoyed it. At that point, I hadn't even drove a car yet on the road or anything like that. So, but ever since then, I think I've been in a car or some form of racing at least once a year since then.
Awesome. Yeah, racing is one for the sport. Definitely is. It's definitely fun once you get into it, for sure.
Absolutely love it.
Let's see. And then, what was your proudest moment in racing so far?
Probably back on April 22nd of 23, I got my very first win. My family's first win out of everybody. Out of the whole years they've been racing. Like I said, I'm 36. They've been racing since I was 6 months old. But went out to Montpelier Motor Speedway. The plan was to go to Waynesfield that night, but they had rained out. So I ended up heading over to Montpelier, first time racing there, and I ended up pulling out the win. I got past the two to go, and that guy got behind a lap car coming to the checkered flag. I actually have a picture of it. I didn't even realize that I won the race. I pulled around afterwards. I'm like, did I win? Did I win? And then the flag infield people were turning me inside, and I was like, oh my gosh, that just happened. So uh, there was that one. And then when my dad won his very first race with this past year, that was a very proud moment for me, being proud of my dad. So
Man, I tell you, when I get the first win, it's gonna be a good one.
oh, I'll tell you what, it's a whole new feeling, and you get a whole fan base that comes along with it. It's amazing.
So, what's your motivation so far in racing aspect?
I just want to be known as a clean driver. I know I've had some issues in the past. Nothing I've ever done on purpose, anything like that. But I just want to go to the front. Like I don't like even on the road. I don't like being behind cars. So I just want to go to the front and be the best I can be.
So, on your yearly average, what's your top tens and top fives and top threes?
Well, I actually went ahead and kept track of that for the last 2 years. In the last 2 years, I've ran 14 races at six different tracks in two different states. I have six heat wins. I have 10 top fives, 12 top tens, and then I have out of all those, I only had two DNFs. One was the flip at Jackson County, and one was I blew the tire while leading at Waynesfield, and
Oh no!
yeah, and that took me out. So, but that's for the last 2 years. I don't remember 2022. I didn't have that many races then.
So you mentioned that you raced at Jacksonville, and you mentioned you raced at Waynesfield. Was there any other tracks you raced at? What did you like the most? What was your favorite track out of all of them?
So out of all the tracks, Waynesfield's been my favorite. I have a love-hate relationship with that track. I flipped there three times in a mini sprint. My modified when I ran there in 2014, I hit the wall, bad concussion, all this stuff. Uh, but I still love it. It's a fast track. But otherwise, I've drawn Jackson County Speedway and Montpelier, Paragon, Indiana, Brownstown, Indiana. I feel like I'm missing one, but yeah, those are the most that I've ran right now.
And then this is another question I had follow up on that. Is you mentioned that you had a mini sprint, you had a compact, and did you also have a street stock as well?
So I've never had a street stock. I've had a modified. I've ran a little bit of everything. So I kind of started out backwards. I started in a bomber, which is a '78 Monte Carlo, and then when I went to college, I ended up buying a modified. Ran that for a few years. When I wrecked my modified, I was done with racing. My brain wasn't right. My buddy Curtis Greca got me back into it, and then we ended up going go-kart racing for a while. Met a few people there. Ended up running trucks, four-cylinder trucks for a while. Uh, yeah, then jumped into a mini sprint for a few years. I was going to get back into a modified, but then my dad said he wanted to get back into racing after a 20-year hiatus, and I sold everything and went down to a compact so I can race with my dad and the rest of my family.
Awesome. So, I know you said you raced with the SCDRA there, and I was wondering, did you ever race with the Midwest Series at all, possibly in the past?
I have never even heard of the Midwest Series, so no, I have not.
Gotcha, gotcha. So, what was your biggest challenges, getting to this point or up to this point?
Money. Money is, as all racers know, money is the biggest thing in here. I do have some great sponsors, but always need more to get me better. And obviously, if I had more money, the more I could do to my car. So that's what it boils down to.
Yeah, money is definitely a number one rule that everybody knows about racing. That is for sure.
100%.
What was your family legacy that's gotten you inspired to where you're at today?
Well, that kind of goes back to, like I said, just being with my family for, my whole life with racing. My dad's raced. After a while, my uncle started racing, and we're just in the garage all the time. My uncle Brian, my cousin Jeremy, my cousin Eric, brother Eddie, Kemper, all them. They've all raced, so it's just been like we just like to go out and have fun. That's what it boils down to. But
Oh yeah, that's a way to look at it though. Is racing is fun and definitely see that's what most people like. They would say like racing is all about winning. And the way I see it, and like you were saying, it's about the fun. Is where it's at.
yeah, I love the fun. I love to win, but
Right.
I've gone a
Exactly.
lot of years without winning before. So,
Right. So, what is your goals for 2025?
2025, I'm going to run Waynesfield. They haven't released their schedule yet, but I'm hoping that they have us back and maybe a little bit more often. But otherwise, I think I'm going to run the Ohio Valley SCDRA a little bit more. Uh, I've been looking at those, and the payouts and stuff are a little bit better. They're like a minimum of $1,000 to win. I might run up Paragon, Indiana a little bit more. That's where my family runs mostly. Uh, but just hoping to go out there and maybe pick up at least another win this year and hopefully not destroy my car again.
Yeah, that's the main thing. So what is there like a dream that you wanted to work up to in the future, like towards like your dream and your goals, kind of?
Uh, there used to be. I used to always just want to race for a living. I mean, I would still love to. I don't really see that being a thing at my age now, but and the money situation side of things and all that. But I just like driving any kind of car. So if it's a go kart or a compact or a late model or a sprint car, if I get a chance to do it, I'm probably going to do it. But if not, I stay in what I can afford, and right now that's a compact, and I enjoy it, so I have no problem staying there.
So, how important are fan interactions to you? Like,
Fans are amazing. So tell a little story about my first win. I had a little boy there. I think he was 12 years old at the time, named CJ. Uh, from the time that we unloaded the car, he kept saying that I was going to win the night, and no idea why, but he kept trying to work on our car, even though his family was there. Uh, but so at the end of the night, CJ was right. I ended up having the win, and he was the first one in my car after I pulled off the track. Said, "I told you he was going to win." I remember that kid for the rest of my life. And then I actually reached out to their family afterwards, and we are still pretty good friends. And I got a few more at Waynesfield. Uh, Matter of fact, I've even had some fans send me stuff in the mail, which is strange to me. I've never had that happen. I was like, is this what celebrities feel like? Like, I've never had fans like this before. And here in the last 2 years, they've really stepped up. And I usually try to do like bike giveaways at the racetrack as well, try to interact with them a little bit more and try to get them into racing because they are the future of the sport.
well, they definitely are, and that's one thing that I even try bringing that up, especially with the guys that's been in it for a long time, and trying to explain to them that hey, these younger generation is going to be the future of this sport
Yep.
for sure. And then where let the viewers know what city are you from exactly?
So I live in Dayton, Ohio.
Dayton, Ohio. All right. And then was there any sponsors you like to thank?
Yeah, so I got Bush Family Motorsports. Actually, this is his car right here. My car is over at his shop right now. He's putting the cage in. Mike and his dad are doing great things for me. They've helped me out a ton. They built my last car too. Rocky G Race Stables. That guy, he's helped me out a lot. He's moved recently, but still forward to have him on the car. Obviously, Cardinal Motorsports. It's my family. I always got to represent them. They always help out in any way we can. This year, I've had Anthony Chalella step up. He's a coworker of mine. He helped me get some parts for my car this coming year. And then also my brother Kemper. He does all my decals and has done our family decals and stuff like that for the last year and a half, 2 years now. Uh, but then I have some other people that's helped me here and there, friends, family, coworkers, even at that. But yeah, that's about it. Always looking for more if anybody's looking to advertise.
Awesome. All right, so it looks like we're down to our last question here. If someone is having challenges in getting towards racing or trying to reach their dream per se, it don't have to be about racing, just in the dream aspect there, what advice would you give to them for just like the struggle?
Don't give up. That's the biggest thing. Is you got to keep working towards it. Uh, you just like there's small steps. Make small goals and work your way up, and eventually you can get there as long as you work hard at it.
Awesome. All right, and then I will open the floor up to anybody in the comments or anything like that if they want to have any questions or not. I'm kind of just looking to see if anyone's commented, but it don't look like there's any questions here. Was there any questions you had for me, Mr. Freeman?
Yeah, where are you planning on racing at this year?
Well, so I normally go to Oakshade Raceways where I normally run. But I will sometimes make appearances at Butler because I normally try to. And then October I'm hoping to be right back at Waynesfield again. That track will stick with me. That track was probably the funnest I've been on. So
it's a great track. So hopefully we're back, and obviously all your Oakshade buddies and all them, bring them all down. Let's have at it.
Hopefully I get to race with the one and only Matt Freeman here.
Hope so. So hopefully them and me and the rest of the family will all be there. So we'll
For sure.
make sure to come over and see us.
Yeah, for sure, man. But all right, man. Well, hey, thank you for being on the podcast, and you have a great day. And we'll if you ever want to reach out to be on the podcast later down in the year, just reach out to me for sure.
Sure will. Appreciate it.
Yep. Have a good day. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that was Matt Freeman. Basically, Matt Freeman on the podcast, and that was pretty cool on episode 4. So next episode is tomorrow on episode 5 at noon with Ryan Oakley, and then next Wednesday, I'm thinking, or Saturday, we have episode 6 of Jacob Brickwalt, and then episode 7, Brett Ireland, episode 8, Dave Smoot out of Pensacola, Florida, episode 9, Jim Slade out of Hillsdale, and Jerry Slade out of Hillsdale as well. And then episode 11 is Jason Deschler, the 2024 Oakshade track champion. Number 12 out of Rogersville, Tennessee. We have Brandon Crawford. So I just want to say thank you guys for joining. And I believe we don't have any comments in the live comment section today, so it don't look like we have to answer any of those. Alrighty, guys, you have a great day, and thanks for joining me.
Waiting for